Times now has accessed the IOC's internal communication which confirms India's consent to reforms. However, sources within the IOA are also confirming to us that the members of the Indian Olympic Association are actually planning a sham meeting on Sunday. We have our correspondent Viren joining us for the details of the letter of the internal communication inside the IOC. Also sports expert and historian Boria Madumdar joining us. Let's start with you, Viren. What exactly are the details of the letter that you have with you?
Well, the IOC has made it very clear that India's representative to the IOC, that's Randhir Singh, is on the same page as the IOC and as a sports minister and the athletes. That means he is backing these amendments to the constitution, anti-graft amendments that have been proposed by the IOC, the conditions on which India will then be allowed to return to the Olympic movement. Now, this is a very significant piece of information simply because Randhir Singh is a very influential member. He has been India's representative of the IOC for quite a while. And this is the letter that I'm talking about that was written. It's an internal communication by the IOC, but it's making it very clear that Randhir Singh agrees with these changes, the proposed changes that have been asked for. Randhir Singh agrees with them, which means that now the pressure's on the other officials to fall in line. But whether that will happen, Tina, remains to be seen. That meeting on Sunday is really going to be able to tell us what's going to happen as far as India's return to the Olympics is concerned.
All right, well, let's go across to Boria now. Boria, first of all, has Randhir Singh actually communicated to the IOA as well that he is completely backing the IOC reforms?
See, that's the big question that, once you have that email that Viren was talking about from Christophe de Keeper, it is copied to Randhir Singh, it's copied to, I've checked that email, it's copied to, Jerome Poave, Pierre Miro and Randhir Singh. So while on the one hand, he's clearly communicated to the IOC that he's backing their reforms, why is Randhir Singh silent? Why did Randhir Singh not attend the May Lausanne meeting where the sports minister was present? Why is Randhir Singh not speaking out on Times Now saying that he's backing the athletes? Why is Randhir Singh silent in India? From the email, it is very, very clear that Randhir Singh in an internal communication has said to the IOC that he's backing these reforms. But as an IOC member of India, and a very influential member like Randhir, why doesn't he come out and speak on behalf of the athletes in India? That will surely strengthen the hand of the IOC and the sports ministry. That is the question.
Yes.
What explains this silence on the part of Randhir?
Well, exactly, Boria, and also, what we've seen over the past few days is there's some sort of convoluted action going on within the circles inside the IOA. We know the IOA has already objected to that charge sheet clause in the IOC suggested reforms. The IOC has obviously refused that. Now we're hearing that there's going to be some sort of a sham meeting on Sunday.
Look, firstly, you are hearing sham meeting. I'm hearing that the IOA wants to postpone that meeting. I am being told that the IOA now fears that if the IOC pushed reforms go through, then people who are now in charge will no longer be in power, which is why they want to postpone the meeting. But like in May, there was a last-minute effort by people in the IOA and by people in India to postpone that May meeting. Did not happen. And the sports minister and the delegation led by Abhinav Bindra did go to Lausanne. So I am being told that the IOC here is relentless. They've now got support from the sports ministry in Jitendra Singh, who spoke on Times Now yesterday. They have Randhir Singh on record in an email confirming that he supports the amendments. So they will now no longer back down. The point is, how long can Randhir Singh keep silent in India? Because he's communicated this to the IOC, it is important that we have our own IOC member come out in support of the athletes, come out in support of these reforms before the meeting on Sunday.
Well, just before we talk to you more about this, Boria, exactly what the IOA is trying to do in a situation where the sports minister with the IOC has actually set out a roadmap for India's return. But more on that in a minute. First, let's just quickly go back to Viren. Now, Viren, you have this internal communication where clearly Randhir Singh is saying that he totally backs the IOC's reforms. What we have seen over the past few days is that the IOA has raised major objections on some of the reforms that have been proposed by the IOC, but the IOC has refused that. So the point is, right now the IOC is digging in its heels. It's very, very clear that without these reforms, India's return to the Olympic movement will not happen.
Well, absolutely. That seems, the problem with the IOA is that they've come out very openly and said they do not back this clause about the charge sheet. the conviction, yes, but not the charge sheet, because they say that you're allowed to contest in Parliament for elections. Therefore, the same rule should apply in the IOA. They've tried to defeat these reforms. They've even questioned the whole the IOC's decision to try and reduce the executive committee of the IOA. These are all steps that they've opposed. So it remains to be seen exactly what will happen at that meeting, because the IOA has come out and very openly said they do not want these changes. They're okay with some, but those are really in the minority, and those are not the key reforms that the IOC is really looking for, so India can come back to the Olympic movement.